Another day, another supposed leak for Jurassic World Evolution. There's been two to speak of in the past 24 hours. The first, a set of two images, one showing Styracosaurus in a snowy environment, for people who are very excited, and another, a T-Rex image inspired by the end of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, these were supposedly internal files, maybe meant to get Frontier developers excited to work on Jurassic World Evolution 2, and they were so clearly faked that I'm blown away that anybody looked at them twice, despite my belief that Evolution 2 is indeed a real thing. I will say that although clearly fake, there is some impressive work done to put these together. Some people are very dedicated to tricking people. It's genuinely impressive. The other fake, whoops, albeit a much more believable one, concerns a sanctuary island. Again, I'm kind of hesitant to do these videos. On one hand, let's not pretend they aren't popular. People are excited about potential leaks and about potential new information. On the other hand, I can't help but feel slightly cheap, cashing in views-wise on things that people are excited about when, well, if we're honest, they probably shouldn't be. I've seen enough comments and received enough messages, however, to believe these are necessary. People are excited about these leaks, yes, inverted commas there, and people are building up hype for something they're unlikely to ever receive. Definitely not, but unlikely. Hell, I've seen other channels, other Reddit posts, forum posts, Discords and the like, all trying to cash in on the hype these generate by pretending they're real, by spreading false information. That to me is a substantially more dangerous and disingenuous behaviour. Even if it's not necessarily coming from a bad place, it could simply be coming from a place of ignorance, really. I digress. Let's talk about Sanctuary Island. There's a few pieces of information that emerged that are leading people to believe that a Sanctuary Island DLC or update is coming this summer. Sanctuary Island, for those of you who somehow missed Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, is of course the big, kind of curvy U-shaped island that they were meant to move the dinosaurs to from Isla Nublar. Of course, that's not what happened. Spoiler alert for a 2-year-old film or whatever it was. But 1-year-old, I should say. But the point is that didn't happen. But Sanctuary Island definitely has its place in Jurassic Park canon going forward. Now, the first piece of information regarding Sanctuary Island was in the 4chan leak that we discussed yesterday, and I was pretty clear in that video that I don't believe the leak to be true. It did accurately predict the Carnivore Dinosaur Pack, but it also had some other ideas that were maybe not in the realm of possibility as much. Out of all the supposed leaks, other than the Euoplocephalus, which does seem like a guarantee to me at this point, it does seem the most likely, but that isn't really saying much. The 4chan leak suggested one of our goals in the DLC that's coming out this summer was going to be saving the dinosaurs from Isla Nublar and moving them to Sanctuary Island, kind of the original goal of Claire, etc., the DPG, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now that to me does not seem likely as a DLC, and I've explained why in that video, but all in all this was the first hint we had that something concerning Sanctuary Island was coming to Jurassic World Evolution. So that's part one. Yesterday, two more pieces of information emerged. The first is a sound file posted with the title Lockwood_Sanctuary that was supposedly found in the files of the game as of the most recent update 1.7 point something now, 0.1 or something. I'm going to link it down below in case you'd like to listen to it yourself, but yeah, I'm going to play you a quick little snippet of it right now. The whole thing is a 42-second piano piece which, as people rightly noticed, is actually a rendition of the theme from the Lost World Jurassic Park. That's red flag number one then. Why would they use the theme from the Lost World for Sanctuary Island? Especially given Evolution's current aversion to anything that came from before Jurassic World. We've seen they really are not big on Jurassic Park, they're very big on Jurassic World, so that doesn't really make much sense. You could possibly suggest that the Site B themes of the Lost World, of course Lost World is Site B itself, that would fit in with Sanctuary Island, which would then become a Site C, the third island with dinosaurs on it. And that really does seem tenuous at best to me. Really, this doesn't seem likely at all. Furthermore, is simply the piece itself, the music. If you just go and listen to it, whilst it's certainly serviceable and perfectly well played, it's quite low quality and really not befitting a game like Jurassic World Evolution, which actually has pretty great sound design and music design in general. Compare the quality of this piece that we're hearing right now, which should be the same quality as everything else in the game, to the announcer voices, etc., that were genuinely leaked for the Euoplocephalus, and you will see a monumental difference. Just as a little side note, the reason we know the Euoplocephalus is legit is A, anybody can go find those files, we're going to address that in a moment, and B, it was clearly Cabot Finch's voice and the standard announcer woman announcing the Euoplocephalus. That is not something you can fake unless you've got the actual voice actor to come in and fake it, which seems much more unlikely to me. So the music piece, the Lost World music piece played on a lo-fi piano for some reason, is part 2. So we've got that, we've got the 4chan leak. Part 3, the final part, is an image showcasing the final location for the audio file, posted to one of the Jurassic World Evolution subreddits, discords I should say. I'm actually unsure who originally posted it, I do apologise. The image suggests the island audio is found within a folder known as dev_bgm_new. Which in turn is found within English (US). BGM here would refer to background music, and just as with the terrain tools that people are still being misled about, new would mean absolutely nothing whatsoever. The problem with this is, as Reddit user Hydrator7 puts out, little shout out, it's that, well, dev_bgm_new doesn't actually exist. The folder doesn't exist. It's not real. So effectively what somebody has done is create a fake but believable folder, put a fake but believable sound file inside it, and given it a fake but believable title, all in aid of fooling someone. These files don't exist. Anybody can go check your Jurassic World Evolution files with the right program. You don't need to edit anything. You don't, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't break the EULA, etc., etc. You're just looking at files that you've downloaded and been given. They're your files, essentially. Anyone can check these files. This file doesn't exist. This is why you have to not believe everything you hear. You have to believe me, but not everybody else, is what I'm trying to say. But it worked, right? People were getting really excited on, like, everywhere I looked. People are still talking about it, and people will be talking about it today. That's why we're doing this video. And it's going to keep working until people manage a little bit better to curtail their enthusiasm in the face of anything they see that doesn't either have frontier approval or overwhelming evidence, like the Euoplocephalus. Where you draw that line is up to you, but I think the distinction is pretty clear between those two. Now, I realise it maybe sounds a little bit hypocritical and ironic, me telling you guys to curtail your enthusiasm and to dull your hype a little bit. I'm sure I've been personally responsible for an incredible amount of unfulfilled so far hype for this game. Like, I accept that, you know, especially in the pre-release stuff early last year where we were talking about what could possibly be in Jurassic World Evolution. There's a lot of stuff I suggested that never went into the game, but it was never based on anything other than hope. And if I speculate, I will tell you that I'm speculating. I will never lie to you, random YouTube person watching this, is what I'm trying to say. And I will never intentionally mislead you for clicks beyond, like, a title now and again, which some people take issue with. I personally don't, but each to their own. Loving a game, a franchise, a film, or a person, a human, or a dog, or something else, does not mean approaching them as though they were flawless. You can remain a critical, intelligent individual and yet still be excited for the future of Jurassic World Evolution. I know I'm critical of the game and iffy when I see all these leaks, and yet I'm still excited for Jurassic World Evolution. The game is flawed, it has problems, and people so badly want it to improve that they're hanging on to every scrap of information, no matter how dubious it is in origin. It's understandable, of course. I really don't blame anyone for going along with it. But it's not as though there is little to be excited for beyond these fakes. I retain that let's try that again in English. I retain that we'll be receiving terrain tools come the summer in what should be a sizable update. I've retained I'm like 90 to 95% certain we're going to get terrain tools. And Frontier managers, Bo mentioned it on Twitter the other day, have said that they'll be able to talk about that summer update very soon. I think in May we'll probably hear something or get a teaser of some description about what we can expect in summer beyond the teasers we've already had. That's something to get excited about. All of this, pretend you can see me waving my arms around extravagantly, isn't. That doesn't change in the coming days. If more information comes out, more well-made fakes that pile on the information, approach with caution is all I'm saying. And keep in mind that people stand to benefit from misplaced hype, be that monetarily or just through the sheer hell of it. Trolls are a thing, ladies and gentlemen. You've really got to remember, trolls are a thing. If you want to not get burned, you need to wait for official announcements from Frontier, reliable leaks like the Euoplocephalus, or, hopefully at least, my videos. Hopefully you can trust me by this point in time to actually just tell you guys the truth. Even though I would stand to benefit more from hyping all this malarkey up and being, oh my god, Sanctuary Island, let's talk about it for half an hour. Everyone come click on my videos, thanks. That would be better for me, but that's not what we're doing here. Anyways, I didn't really intend to go off on a tangent at the end there, but I say that, but I scripted the whole bloody thing. Given this is the fourth time in 5 or so days I've had to talk about a leak or something like that, because I keep getting comments because it keeps coming up, it seems like all of this was worth saying. I'm not saying don't get excited, I'm not saying don't look forward to things, there's definitely stuff on the way, and leaks do happen. They've happened before, they will happen again. It's impossible for stuff not to get leaked in modern game development, or ancient game development really, but especially with the sort of information highway thing we've got going on with the internet, it's very difficult for all information to be contained, but it's worth approaching it all critically. That's all I'm saying. Just come in with an open enthusiasm, but then look at what you're actually being fed, look at the information, look at where it's coming from, look at the sources, and just think critically about what's going on. Otherwise you'll just get burned by unfulfilled hype. That's not to say Sanctuary Island is not on the way. It could definitely be on the way. It would be a logical thing to introduce to Jurassic World Evolution. But what I'm telling you is that if Sanctuary Island is a thing, it will not be anything to do with this leak. It was completely unrelated. Exactly the same with the terrain tools, which I think are on the way. These leaks are irrelevant to those things, and them happening down the line is not proof of anything. I could make many predictions about Jurassic World Evolution, and have indeed done so, and it doesn't mean I'm psychic, and it doesn't mean well, it does actually mean I'm psychic, but it doesn't mean I had information or leaks or anything beforehand. It's just logical predictions based on what we've already seen. The same applies to leaks. If you're going to make a successful leak, you need to make it just believable enough that people can see it happening down the line, and that's very clearly what people are doing. Right. If you appreciated this video, I'd really appreciate a like and a comment down below. I'm sure some people would disagree with what I've said here, but I'm just trying to be honest and kind of lead you guys in the right direction. Some people do get a little bit carried away. Hell, I've definitely got carried away in the past as well. Anyways, really appreciate a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and for more content like this and other dinosaur stuff, remember to subscribe. Thanks for joining me. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you want to help support me a little bit more, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. There's a link in the description down below. Every little really does help in times like these, but it's not at all expected, and by just watching the video you've already helped me out massively, and it makes you a pretty cool person, so well done you. Thanks for joining me either way, I'll see you next time.